This is the T53W training video. In this video, we will be reviewing the main functions and buttons of the T53W. First, let's go over the basic buttons on the phone itself. You'll notice we have directional buttons, up, down, left, right, and OK, which are maneuverability buttons in the menu of the phone. On the bottom we have an X, which is a back or delete option when utilizing the phone. Underneath that we have the universal volume control, which controls the ringer volume for the handset, the volume for the headset, and the speakerphone. Each volume is independent of each other. Adjacent to the volume control is the standard dial pad. Numbers 1 through 9, star, 0, pound. On the right of the display, we have the microphone mute, headset, which will indicate when pressed, voicemail button, redial, and speakerphone. On the display of the phone itself, you'll notice we have DSS buttons, which have been pre-programmed. First one indicating my extension. We have a few BLF buttons associated with extension numbers, a voicemail transfer button, intercom, park buttons, which we'll review later, the bottom button being a page button, allowing me to manipulate the phone to change pages and view more information, or different DSS buttons. On the display itself, you'll notice we have time, date, and again my extension number. The buttons on the bottom of the display are known as soft keys. These keys change identity based on what the phone's doing to make it easier to operate. By default, they'll display history, directory, do not disturb, and menu. When selecting history, it will bring up the call history of the phone. You'll notice that my soft keys have now changed: back, delete, options, and call. Within the call history, I'm able to use my maneuverability buttons to scroll through to view my personal call log. I also have a directory. This directory can be configured individually per phone or globally for all phones. To view the contact directory, simply press the directory button and select the contacts you would like to view. I have some preloaded ones on here to show you. I would simply scroll up and down using my maneuverability buttons and call that associated extension. Again, my soft keys have changed, allowing me to go back or add a new contact or manipulate options on that contact, as in view the details, delete, add to a block list, back on the main screen, I have do not disturb. This turns off the ability to receive calls. All calls now go directly to the voicemail box associated with the phone, if there is a voicemail box associated with it. You'll notice do not disturb is indicated on the display. Press it again. This will turn this feature off. Lastly, we have the menu. When pressing the menu, you're able to view the status of the phone. To do so, I can either press the Enter or OK. This will provide information on the phone, such as the IP address and MAC address of the device. I'm also able to view the features of the phone within the main menu, such as enabling or disabling call waiting, auto answer, manipulate my DSS keys, and change some other basic features of the phone itself. I'm also able to go into the settings of my phone. The basic settings, where I can change the language, change how time and date is displayed on the phone, change the display or change the brightness level of the display, change my sounds, create a PIN, enable or disable Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on this device, enable or disable a headset, or reboot the phone itself. You also have the ability to listen to your voicemail messages through the menu, view your history, your directory, enable or disable the USB port in the back of the phone. These are the basic phone features associated with the T53W. Next, we'll go over how to place and receive a phone call. To place a call, I like to leave the handset on the cradle and dial the end user's extension or external phone number. From here, I have the option of pressing the call soft key, change my numeric input, press delete if I make a mistake, or cancel entirely. If I press call, it'll place the call over the speakerphone. I also have the ability to place the call and then utilize the handset. Now the call is using the handset versus speakerphone. If I'd like to use the headset, simply activate the headset button, which will turn green. All placed and received calls will now utilize the headset if one is connected via Bluetooth or in the back of the device. To migrate between options, you can go from headset to speakerphone by simply selecting the speakerphone button. And I can go back to headset by simply pressing the headset button. To end the call, you may press end call or hang up the handset. To receive a call, when the phone indicates it is ringing, simply answer the phone using the answer soft key, which will appear when a call comes in, or lifting the handset. You're also able to utilize the headset as well to answer a call if one is applicable. When I'm in a call and I need to transfer the call, I'm able to transfer a call in three fashions. Either attended transfer, blind transfer, or blind transfer to voicemail. An attended transfer lets me notify the party prior to transferring the phone call. To do so, I receive or place a call, when the call is connected, I'll press the transfer soft key and enter in the person's extension number. If I wish to call them first, press call, which will enable me to speak with them, or I can just press transfer and hit blind transfer, which sends the call to them. Alright, the next thing we're going to review is how to perform a blind transfer to voicemail. Now there's multiple ways of doing this due to the fact we have a transfer to voicemail DSS button pre-programmed for us. I'll show you how to use that, as well as the standard version. So first I'm going to activate a call to simulate this. When the call connects, my soft keys will change. I'll select transfer and I'll put a star in front of the user's extension and press blind transfer to send it to that user's voicemail box. It will not ring that user's phone. It sends the call directly to the mailbox. Another way of doing this, let's go ahead and use that. Call. Once the call activates, press transfer, transfer to voicemail, enter in the user's extension, blind transfer, gone again. So basically what this does is it helps me remember to put a star in front of that user's extension number without actually having to do it manually. Okay? Two ways of doing it. Either is correct. Personal preference, up to you. Excellent. Let's go over call parking. Alright. Parking a call, you can have multiple parking slots, and I've got them arbitrarily labeled on the side here. We've got 81, 82, and then we went ahead and hid 83 way in the back. Use the bad one. So, what we're going to do is we're going to place a call. Call time and temp again. When a call comes in for me, or I need to connect it to a parking slot for or someone to reach, simply find an available slot. You'll notice because it's green, I will press that slot to send the call to that parking spot. You'll notice now that it's red. That means that that call is parked in slot 81. From here, I'm able to call or intercom an individual on them having a call parked and indicate what parking slot they're in. So for example, I would call Johnny at 2008 and indicate, hey Johnny, you have a call parked on 81. He can go to any phone in the facility, press the 81 park button, and be live with that call. Okay? So what happens if Johnny never gets to the call on 81? Well, they're not stuck in limbo for an eternity. That call will ring back to me, who put the call on park, after a pre-designated amount of time. The default time is 3.5 minutes. So after 3.5 minutes, my phone will ring with the caller ID of the individual who I parked, indicating that Johnny did not answer that call. If I would like to pick up that park call, simply press that button, and it now retrieves it. If I would like to program more than 3 parking slots, you can do so. You can have up to 9, and you can label them whatever you would like. It does not have to be Park 81, 82, 83. It could be Park 1, 2, 3. It's arbitrary to your company's desire. Next thing we want to go over is call waiting. By default, call waiting is disabled on all the phones. So that means I can only take 1 call at a time, right? I don't need to be taking any more than 1 call at a time. However, if you're a receptionist or someone who does need to field multiple calls, you will need to enable call waiting, and a quick way of doing that is by dialing *70.
Activated.
Do that again real quick. *70.
Call waiting. Activated.
Now, if I were to receive multiple calls, they will display on the screen with the caller ID of party A. When a second call comes in, it will display the caller ID of party B, C, D, E, F, G. You go up to approximately 10 to 12 of these. Sorry if you have to field that many. But to turn this feature off, it's simply *71.
Call waiting. Deactivated.
And we're back to normal, so that we only accept 1 call at a time. Okay? Another feature that you can enable or disable is call forwarding. To enable call forwarding on this phone, system-wide, not phone-wide, is the command *72.
Please enter your extension, then press #.
My extension is 307.
Please enter the number of the extension to use for your target attendant, then press #.
My target attendant would be my external phone number.
Call forward unconditional or extension 307 is set to 93749911212.
Now, anytime anyone were to call my extension, it will route that call to time and temperature. Haha. To disable this feature, from my device, I dial *73.
Call forward canceled.
And now calls are routed back to my device here. Another option that you have available to you as well is 3-way conferencing. To have a 3-way conference, you would place a call with an extension. We're going to utilize Frank. Press the conference. This will put Frank on hold. I'm able to now enter in the phone number or extension number. Frank's on hold right now. He doesn't know the wiser. And now,
thank you for calling our gateway to free
press
weather
conference.
forecast directory assistance.
And now we're all together.
Right after.
If I'd like to put them on hold, simply press hold. I'm able to split the calls, resume the call, place another new call, or end the call. In this example, we're going to go ahead and end that call. which ends the three-way conference. Because I initiated it, when I ended it, the other parties were also disconnected. If I'd like to intercom a person or an extension number, you can do this two ways as well. You can either press star prior to their extension number, press call. This will automatically activate the user's speakerphone when calling them, able to have two-way communication over the phone. Or you can press the intercom button, which pre-dials the star, and then entering the party's extension number. Normally, you'd be able to dial star 95, and that would disable this feature.